what I want to help people reconnect with again and again through this Oracle card deck is the foundation of reality. So we talked about in the last video in this series about awakening. Awakening is the first card of the deck. So awakening is when we kind of come out from underneath of the spell of separation and we realize, oh my God, this is a unified universe. This is one thing here, and I am part of that one thing. I'm not separate. And then the dawning of this realization opens up this whole other paradigm of reality. And that whole other paradigm of reality, the unity paradigm, has a whole new set of rules. If you know that you're unified, that you're one, rather than a separate being running around who's damageable and can die, there's this whole different way of thinking and all these other laws, the universal laws, that we line up with instead of the laws of fear, competition and try to get somewhere, and all of the ways that we have been living thinking we are a separate self. And so we just very, very easily in our everyday lives again and again and again and again and again go back into that old way of thinking. It's just hardwired. It's hardwired into the collective consciousness and also into our primitive brain and our primitive way of thinking. So we've got to remember again and again and again, what is the upgraded law? What is the true foundation of reality when we've woken up from the dream of separation, when we realize we're not just this body, when we've seen that there's more, that we are more? What is reality now? What is that? Because that new reality is so much more fun. It is so much more free, and we have so much power in that new paradigm and the truth of what this reality really is. And so we've got to remember that again and again and again and again. So the first 11 cards or so, I think I've got 11 so far, of this Oracle card deck are the group of the foundation of our reality. And so they just bring us back to, this is what's real. You're not a victim. You have so much power, for example. I'm looking through them. I've kind of done I've kind of mapped them out on my computer. The first one being awakening. Then we've got unity consciousness, which is what we're waking up to. Who you really are, that kind of realization. You are a portal, like coming back to that realization that we are bringing, we're not just this physical form. We're bringing through that, or this physical form is a portal, for this greater reality to make manifest into the world. And as an awakened soul, we become portals, not just this physical, solid, unchangeable, limited physical body. Eternal safety is the foundation of our reality. Eternal safety. When you are one, when you exist within a connected system, when what you really are is this massive, awesome thing we can't even comprehend, but it never dies, and we can never be estranged, we can never be abandoned, we can never be killed. What we really are goes on. And when we actually truly click into that, so much of our fear can just dissipate. And the cool thing is that when we're operating from that level in our lives, it's a massive shift. Instead of operating from fear and letting fear motivate what we do, it's operating from a sense of safety. Changes everything, but I'm going to get to that in later videos. And self-worth is the foundation of our reality. When we realize what we are, when we think about ourselves with awakened eyes, it's actually becomes ridiculous to think we're unworthy. Nothing is set in stone as a foundation of our reality. reality is fluid. It is changeable. It is changing all the time. And we need to remember that, because we can go into a very limited, very stuck frame of mind in our old way of thinking, can't we? Limitlessness. I think that must be my favorite word. That is the foundation of our reality. Not stuckness, not limitation, limitlessness. Desire. The desire. I'm going to really go into desire. This is a big one. And how this is like the universe moving its chess piece around the realm of creation. Is through desire. It's the motivating force, and it's a foundational part of our reality. Receiving as well, being able to receive and give and receive. Alignment. And lastly, divine romance. And I'll describe what that is later on. So these are the things that are making up this this first, about, I think it's 11 cards of the Oracle card deck that are going to help people to remember, oh, that's right, I am this eternal being. I've been thinking about it from this fearful way. And if I just remember, for example, that I'm actually, this is the foundation of reality. Everything is fluid. It's not solid. I do have power in this situation. I'm not stuck. All of this stuff, to just change up and wake up that primitive brain and those old perceptions that we're getting stuck in, because I do it all the time. And if I'm doing it, I know you're doing it. I know we're all doing it. We're all going back to that old way of thinking. It's just what we do. And so I know it helps me every day to remember. I wake up in the morning when I start to feel the weight of the day descending on me as I'm lying in bed and I'm thinking of all the things that I'm going to do today. And there's kind of sometimes a feeling of dread or doom about that. I go, wait a minute, what am I and where am I and what is this? And it just wakes me up to, I am a limitless being. Today is fluid. It's changeable. I'm affecting it with my focus, with my feelings, with my imagination. I have great power here. This is what this is. This is the foundation of reality. Those fears, those doom thoughts, or the heaviness of what needs to be done is just one way of looking at things. And it's the fearful way. There's this whole other way. So that's what the first 11 or so, because I could change, put some more in there or take some out. This first group of cards is that the foundation of reality cards. So that's where I'm at, is building that at the moment. And I haven't gotten on to the images yet. I've got a kind of few little ideas in my head, but I want to make a video next time about AI, about using AI. And because I do have mixed feelings about that, and I want to see what you think about that. But yeah, let's talk about that next time. And I'm going to be making a video on unity consciousness very soon, which you will see soon. I think you're going to really, really love it, because it just taps you into this connected feeling, which it's just everything we've been looking for. Like, unity consciousness is what we want. It's everything that we want. It's all that good stuff, all those good vibes, and nothing missing. So look out for that video soon, and take care, my love.